Ladies and gentlemen, I think these are my favorite kind of videos to make. And the reason why I say that is it ties together two really interesting things. Easter eggs, which have been hidden in the season 3 trailers, and on top of that blog post, things along those lines. And on top of that combines together the story of Call of Duty, which is what we like to do on this channel. There's a lot of these little Easter eggs hidden throughout the trailers, and most of them are stemming from the Rebirth Island trailer. And we kind of talked about some of these, but what I wanted to do in this video is go over these 3-ish different things. There's a little bit more than that are hidden within the trailer and show you what they mean for the story of Call of Duty moving forward. Because some of them have some really big implications, bigger than you may believe. And of course, once the season 3 cinematics in the season and we get the Easter eggs within the season, I will be able to make an even more detailed video on each of these things. I think each of these things we're going to talk about today kind of deserve their own video. I just don't have all the information yet. So let me show you what I'm talking about, starting out with what I think is the biggest one. So everything that they kind of hid in here takes place at the end of this trailer. And the first one that we are going to look at here involves a little logo that some of you may recognize. Clearly, this has fallen off the side of the room, and this is a giant plate for, of course, Perseus. Now, really, this logo being here shouldn't be a surprise. We know that Rebirth Island in the Cold War was used for Nova 6 gas, and Perseus was kind of the one behind it. Perseus was working with Dragovich, with Steiner, to create Nova 6 gas, and alongside Stitch, they did so on Rebirth Island. So to see this logo fallen off the side is no surprise whatsoever. But I want you to pay close attention to a couple things in this logo. You have these spinning atoms going around the outside. You have, of course, the Perseus kind of logo in the middle, as well as the toxic symbol in the middle. This is going to come back in a minute. Now, just to be clear, the Perseus logo from Cold War is this one that you are looking at here. It's that symbol with the kind of shield patch right here. Now, there was also another logo introduced with Rebirth Island back in Black Ops Cold War, and it is this one that you can see here. It kind of has the hammer and sickle. It has the atoms going around the outside to combine like nuclear with, of course, Nova 6 and the whole backstories. So this Perseus logo that we see on the floor here is a combination of Perseus as well as the Rebirth Island logo. Now, my prediction for what is going to happen with Makarov is, I've said this over a year ago, that I think Makarov is actually a member of Perseus, and that is where his story is going moving forward. And this actually gives us more evidence of this, because by the very end of the trailer, we see this logo. Now, I couldn't figure out what this logo was at first, but if you take the Rebirth Island from Black Ops Cold War, you have the spinning atoms, on top of that the stars in the corners there, and then have a look at the Coney Ultranationalist logo where they have the snake head specifically with the sword down the middle and the red and black. Combine the two together, what do you get? This logo. So we know that the Coney Ultranationalists are on Rebirth Island, and we know that they have now combined their logo with the Rebirth Island logo, meaning Coney Ultranationalists are most likely making Nova 6 gas. And originally, when we saw the first trailer for Rebirth Island and Makarov was making a return, that was my guess, is he was going there to get his hands on Nova 6 gas and use it in a certain way that's going to progress the story forward, maybe framing Urzikstan. And just to be clear, we do see this logo all over the place. It's on the computers throughout the trailer, and I think we're going to see it more and more. That combination of the Coney Group, Rebirth Island logo, and clearly they are working on something here. Okay, so that's not the only interesting thing that we've seen through these teasers. There's another really big one, because when we got the blog post, we got to see all of the weapons that were being added into the game. And a lot of them are actually from Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. But here's the interesting thing. When we saw the image of the BAL-27, there is a logo that you may recognize on the side, and that is Atlas Corporation. Now, if you're new to Call of Duty and you don't know what Atlas Corporation is, it was essentially the main group from Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, the same game that the BAL-27 was from. They were the weapons maker. They made a bunch of things like EXO Suits. Don't worry, we'll come back to that one. But seemingly what this means is that Atlas Corporation from Call of Duty Advanced Warfare is now in the same universe as Modern Warfare. However, there's a really big problem with this. See, I've had a ton of people tweet at me since this came out saying that this means that Advanced Warfare is canonically in the Call of Duty cinematic universe and a part of the overall Modern Warfare and Black Ops timeline. However, there's a very big problem with this, and this deserves its own video. Don't worry, we'll do that. But the thing is Atlas Corporation, as said in Advanced Warfare, wasn't founded until the year 2035. What that means is that this timeline is not the same as the original Advanced Warfare timeline. This means that yes, the characters in Advanced Warfare might be in this timeline as well, but the game itself is not the same. The timeline does not add up, which means that yes, Advanced Warfare could be in this universe, but it won't be exactly the same. Kind of how they rebooted Modern Warfare with this Modern Warfare trilogy. The same characters, different timeline, different story, but Atlas Corporation is 100% a part of that. So we have one more thing hidden on that Rebirth Island trailer. In this trailer, they're showing off several different locations, showing what is there, and we see some changes that have happened since the Cold War on Rebirth Island. Now, we get to a specific location called the Control Center, and inside it, we see a bunch of different things, but if you take a closer look at one point, what we see inside of a bunch of glass containers beside some computers are none other than EXO Suits from Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. The things that made you be able to hippity hop around and boost jump and things like that, yeah, they are hidden on Rebirth Island. Now, originally I was gonna say that, hey, maybe this means that there's gonna be an event coming to Modern Warfare where there is boost jumps, because keep in mind, Sledgehammer, the people that are behind Modern Warfare 3 right now, were the ones that made Advanced Warfare. Therefore, they would know how to implement this kind of pogo stick movement that I like to call it from Advanced Warfare. But if you have a closer look at these exosuits, these seem to be some sort of early prototype, because these ones don't have any leg attachments on them. They seem to be upper body and helmet kind of exosuits, not the leg ones that we saw as well in Advanced Warfare. So just to summarize everything up here, what we have is Rebirth Island returning, and on it we have Vladimir Makarov making his return. We see a Perseus logo that later we see a Rebirth Island logo combined with the Kony Group logo, seemingly showing that they have been on this island and they are working on something. Most likely Nova 6 gas, because that's what this island was used for. But on top of that, we also have the Atlas Corporation logo with exosuits found on Rebirth Island. So it appears as though the Kony Group is also working with Atlas Corporation as well. Not necessarily meaning that Advanced Warfare is a part of this Modern Warfare timeline. However, parts of it, like Atlas Corporation's, very well could be added into this game as well, making some really interesting story moving forward. And I really like to see this kind of stuff, these little Easter eggs added in, and it makes me excited for what they are going to be doing with this story moving forward, because the true answer is, I don't know. Until we get that Season 3 cinematic and see what Makarov has planned and what he is doing on Rebirth Island, I won't have a full answer. But what I will tell you is there are a lot of story videos coming. We can dive into the backstory of Rebirth Island, Atlas Corporation, Perseus, the combination of Perseus and Makarov. So what I'm saying is the story is getting good, and I'm excited to be covering it on the channel. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel, have notifications on. If I missed anything in here, feel free to let me know down in the comments so you can get featured on a future video. But I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. I love this kind of stuff, so I hope you do too. And until next time, peace out.
We are reaching for the stars, but we're